Hello everyone, welcome to join Parexel Statistical Programmers and Biostatistician US to APAC online webinars. Our meeting will start now. Before the event starting, let me introduce today's agenda. I am recruiter Tony Feng, in charge of Parexel recruitment in Shenyang City of China. I will make Parexel company introduction. What's more, I will share current CRO and clinical trial industry market information as well. In the second part, SP Hiring Manager Weiba and Biostatistician Hiring Manager Cai Feng will give you the department introduction and job qualification in details. In the last part, I will introduce Parexel benefit and recruitment process. I think you will get a lot of information of Parexel and healthcare industry, and I hope it will be helpful to you for your future career development. Okay, let's get started. Parexel was set up in 1982. Parexel has more than 16,220 employees worldwide and located in 75 offices. Parexel is providing a high level of important scientific and operational excellence. We are helping clients understand, analyze, and enhance their development journey, like pharmaceutical offerings and industry know-how to combine a lot of innovations to help deliver the better treatments to the patients who need them. Parexel helped to develop 99% of 200 top-selling biopharmaceuticals on the market and work with all the top 50 biopharmaceutical companies. We support more than 2,300 clinical trial products in 14 TA areas. We have over 1,000 regulatory professionals on staff around the world. And we have ability to conduct trials in more than 100 countries. And we offer an innovative single shared technical platform as well. From this page, you can see Parexel got a lot of award and recognition in current years. I want to especially to introduce the award of training. Parexel got one of the top 125 training winner companies. Parexel pays attention to training and education to our internal employees. Parexel make every chance to develop employee career paths, train them professional clinical trial knowledge to help them to improve their skills. If you successfully to join Parexel, you will feel a lot of stresses to be one member of us. You will have international working environment. You will work together with other employees from different countries with English language communication. You will also enjoy working flexibility like hour-based leave and flexible working hours. And you will join an energized and reviving culture team because many employees have started their career from Parexel. What's more, you will have more working opportunities internally. Parexel will open so many positions to internal employees. You may apply for them and have chance to do the internal transfer. From this slide, you can see APAC CRO industry market size is growing up faster and faster, especially in China market. The China market is growing at nearly 16% as the country ramp up development of innovative compounds in the local biotech pipeline. So I think if you join CRO industry, you will not only get a great job, you will also expect a very good career future. In this page, you will see the increasing number of Parexel trials in the past 3 years. You will get over 1,394 studies in hand from phase 1 to phase 4. Parexel can provide so many trials to employees in different TAs. I think it's very helpful to employees to develop themselves for their working experience. Okay, that's all my sharing of company and industry information. Next part, let's welcome Weiba and Caifeng to give us department introduction. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, my name is Kevin Fu. I'm overseeing the statistical part for the account FSP. So I have been working more than like 7 years, almost 8 years. Have been enjoying working here, and we have a wonderful group for the stats and the programmer side. So um, really a great opportunity here I would like to see. So what is Parexel FSP? So this is just one division in our current company. So the FSP is a functional service provider division, and which will provide qualified professionals across specific functional area, including statistician, statistical programmers, data management, clinical monitoring, regulatory, and other supporting functions. This is for like a specific client globally support. So all our studies, we are supporting our global studies. And recently, FSP has become very organic, strategic growth. So we are expanding from the North America, EU, like to APAC now. So our like company's whole is FSP. So here I need to explain a little bit. We have several FSP accounts within the Parexel. This whole FSP model, we have more than 20 years of experience. So, but in our account, it's a specific one FSP account. We have more than 8 years of experience. And along the way, we also acquired a few companies, to expand the growth. So this is really a great opportunity. We are working with multiple clients. Tony, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. So the FSP is really it's a good approach. So we have proven successful records for the past, more than 20 years at the company. As I mentioned before, in our company in our account is about 8 years. So this FSP model has a very organized management team structure in each country. For example, we have the management in Russia, India, UK, US, and mainland China, also Taiwan. So we have very strong support from our internal management team, also from our local global teams, So we have been conducting more than 150 clinical projects in 6 major therapeutic areas, including some legacy products. So there are another slide for more details. And we have very good governance group with the client, also has very good escalation process with the client. And for all the newcomers, we have very good onboarding process trainings. In the beginning, whenever you join a new company, you need to get some training for the specific requirement and SOP. So we have a very nice onboarding process and trainings in place. Also, we have a very strong teamwork, and we have very flexible. As Tony also mentioned, we have very flexible working hours. And with the client, we for the past 8 years, so we build up a really strong trust relationship with the client. So that's really helpful. Tony, please, next slide. Next slide, please, Tony. Yeah. So we are working in a like global stage, we have really frequent collaboration with the client, including the annual meetings, client conference. Previously, before the pandemic, we have face-to-face meetings with client. For example, if we have a team in UK and there is another pharmaceutical, the client we are supporting, they have a similar location, so we can go to visit their site, or they come to our site to have face-to-face meetings. So this is very helpful to know each other like face-to-face. So that's really good for the meetings. And the other is that we really have a great multiple like career growth opportunity for all these studies we have been supporting the programs. So the study we have been supporting across all the different phases, and with lots of innovative study designs, with adaptive design, sample size re-estimation, and some Bayesian calculation for probabilities. So all sorts of different designs you will encounter depends on your preference you can support, and you can gain the experience, expand in your career development. So it's really exciting. And we also supporting lots of submission, and after submission, we answer lots of questions like from the regulatory agencies, from, for example, FDA, PMDA, or EMA, Health Canada. So we have all sorts of regulatory requests for post-submission responses. During that time, I think it's really a great opportunity for the statistician as well as the programming team. We can directly interact with the regulatory agencies, again, our experience. We have also, like from time to time, audits, so we can participate. So that's another opportunity you can gain. Okay, so audits are sometimes it's client audit, some are from regulatory audits. So all these are wonderful opportunities I would like to see. Also for the career development, also very flexible. If a statistical programmer, you have the background in statistics, you could also apply to transfer from a programmer role to a stats role. So that's really nice for people who have a stat degree who want to switch their job role. So we do have the opportunity here. And I would see we can learn from this best industry, for the from the study that we are supporting, also working from the best mindsets of our staff, the statistician program. So we work together. Everybody has their own unique talent and skill, so we learn each other. The other point I would like to point out is if you are a senior statistical programmer or a senior biostatistician, then you will join the meetings directly with the client. Also, you can lead and host the meeting, lead the discussion. So that's a really great hands-on experience you can gain. I mentioned before as well, so the working hours are really flexible here. It's almost the same as the US working environment. We are have the opportunity to work remotely or based in office. So depends on your preference. So that's a really nice feature for anyone who want to be like flexible with the working hours. Okay, next slide, please. Here I would like to mention a few major pipelines we are supporting for our current client. So our major pipeline is on the infectious disease. For this one, we have multiple studies from phase 1 to phase 3B and even phase 4. So one of the infectious disease is HIV treatment. So for the past few years, we also got a few approvals after we supporting all these HIV-related studies. And the other one is the HIV prevention. The prevention is also very important. if this can be prevented, that's very helpful for globally. So current year, we are supporting 2 large prevention HIV studies, and we need to submit the data soon. So that's a really great opportunity. Everyone is working very hard to achieve the deadline for the submission. Another area we have been worked is the bacterial pneumonia. So this is also difficult disease when sometimes some bacteria or drug resistant, so we need a new drug. So I would like to say, whenever you are helping to bring the new drug to the market, it's really an exciting experience. And then the next main pipeline is in the oncology area. So for oncology, we also have multiple oncology studies. I've listed a few here. So these studies across phase 1 to phase 2, phase 3. So we also have a lot of opportunity on the oncology study. I think a lot of people would like to gain some experience on this area. So that's a good opportunity here as well. And then we have several other therapeutic areas, including inflammation for lupus and the vaccine. We have previously supported the MMR. This is measles, mumps, and rubella. Currently, we also supporting COVID. COVID is not vaccine, actual treatment. So we have some study is for COVID treatment. And under respiratory, we have asthma and COPD. And then there are a few studies belong to other pharmaceutical cures. So this including anemia associated with chronic renal disease. Yeah, all these are really important pipelines we have. Okay, next slide, please, Tony. Okay, so as you can see, these are all the amazing opportunities in healthcare industry globally. So particularly for China, because China now is growing so fast in this area, in the pharmaceutical market. So there are a lot of opportunities. The R&D spending among all these Chinese pharma companies, it's like amazing. I think I never seen before. It's like 34% per annum over the past 5+ years. So that's really amazing. And previously, for example, domestic companies now they are expanding into other regions, so become global. So also due to the China regulatory reform, and we have more strict data review or evaluation, we will need more and more the statistician and the statistical programmer. So it's really a good job market in China right now. Okay, next slide, please. So here are some important events in the China pharmaceutical industry since 2015. There are over like 150 regulations and notices since 2015. So I just put a few major ones here. So in 2015, the CFDA is the China Food and Drug Administration. Now I think it's called National Medical Product Administration since 2018. So the CFDA issued this document called Performing Self-Examination and Verification for Drug Clinical Trial Data, which means we have to thorough check the data. The quality is really important. So that means we are needing more resources, so you need to really to do the thorough check. And also the State Council published guidance in 2015 for the pharma and medical device development, the number called 44. So in 2016, CFDA guidance also has this particular guidance on the stats report data management or e-data collection. Also, CFDA also issued the statistical, specifically for statistical guidance. So all the rules and the requirement you can find on this guidance. And then in 2017, the regulator has tightened the rules against the fake clinical data. Also, China joined the ICH. So ICH is International Conference for the Harmonization. So once joined the ICH, so all the the data analysis studies will almost align globally. So there are more like requirement standardization, and then we'll need more staff, stats and programming to work on the project and also follow global standards. So that's really important. And then since 2020, the NMPA is National Medical and Product Administration issued the announcement on performing consistent evaluation of quality and efficacy for the generic chemical injections. So this quality is emphasized. So we really need to have a highest quality when we do our work. And also NMPA issued the guidance for the on-site inspection. So not our daily work for the data analysis. Also, the administration are focusing on the site. If we correct the site in a high quality, it helps all the later stage analysis. So the site and anybody working at the site, the hospitals, are really important. So this guidance, I think, is very helpful for the on-site inspection, for independent software, and also good manufacturing practice for medical device. Okay, next slide, please. Tony. Okay, here is trying to summarize the biostatistical and statistical programming capability. So stats and programming, I think we are mainly working towards the drug development journey. So we trying to optimize this journey also to help the whole clinical development planning. For example, like a new drug, most often is start from like a small molecule or large molecule, started from screening, and then like optimization, and then through the preclinical development, and then come into the clinical development, which includes phase 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the post submission phase. So during all these stages, as a stats and statistical programmer, we could contribute all our expertise to this whole journey. And also it's very important we do our work through the planning, the designing, reporting, and the submission. And I feel also really exciting because when we like be a part of, contribute, be a part of this whole journey, whenever there is a new drug got approved in the market, and then all the patients get the benefit. So this is really, really exciting for our job. I think I feel really proud of whenever I see a drug get approved and used for patient. So that gives you like a lot of motivation for your daily work. And for the past like 2 years, I think 2019 and 2020, and we got also some recognition awards, 3 of here listed. One of these is the Innovator of the Year, and the other one is Global Stats Program Product Team of the Year. The other is the Excellent Award of the Excellence. So this is the awards, the recognition we got, so that we also feel good, we got recognized. And as I mentioned, in our partnership with the single client, we have about 8 years FSP partnership. Due to the work we supported, previous. So in last year, April, we got 3 years of the contract extension. So that's unusual. So that's really good because they like our job. So they give us like more work for this 3-year extension. So we have the next 3 years, the work. So that's really good. So we have about 126 staff currently with 23 statisticians and 103 programmers. As I mentioned, we have been supported and partnered on the 5 major drug approvals recently, and it's really exciting news. Okay, so the FSP is our it's a leading partner for the whole Parexel company, especially on the stats and programming services. As far as I know, I think our standard programming is the most percentage on the FSP side comparing to data management, regulatory support, or medical writing services. I think FSP is the largest proportion for the FSP partner. So we have a long-standing multi-year partner for the top 10 pharma companies. This is for our global FSP accounts because we have different accounts, And this partnership, we have more than 330 dedicated staff. And our retention rate for the stats program also pretty high. We have more than 89% on average. So this whole journey, it's you combine the early phase and later phase together for follow the molecule approach. As I mentioned, the drug usually starts with a molecule screening. So this is when we combine the early phase, late phase together, and you can follow this molecule through all its way into approval if the drug it's a good candidate drug, Tony, please forward. Next slide. Okay, here you can see the global team with exceptional skilled statistical program. We have more than 1,600 full-time stats and programmers worldwide. So you can see we have multiple regions, North America, EU, and the Middle East, also Africa, and Asia Pacific. So we have a larger team for the stats and programming team here. So I would like to just briefly mention our stats group capability and what we are supporting and what is our demographic. So for all the statistical members, we are supporting the program. Out of all the team, we have 74% with 5 years of services at Parexel, and for all the statisticians, over 20% have a PhD degree, so that's really good. Whenever you have a stats related question, we can ask each other, and the people are really like to give you answers if they have worked or they know the answer. Also, we are supporting all the study designs, including the innovative designs, like adaptive design, sample size re-estimation, Bayesian approach. So all these, I think you can get a chance to work on these type of studies, also learn, expand your knowledge. And for other opportunity, you can participate in strategic development for the the consultancy for integration or regulatory submission, as well as end-to-end biostatistical work, include the study report writing and review. Also, sometimes there are some papers, manuscript, our statistician need to provide input and give the interpretation for the publications as well. And also we are usually the main author for the protocol stats sections, as well as the statistical analysis plan and the stats section in the study report. We call it CSR, so clinical study report. For the data monitoring charter, stats also provide key input for the charter development and finalization. For the final stage submission service, the statistician will review the whole we call it ECRT package. So the whole package, including the data and also including the guidance document, which is like define, and ADRG, which is the Adam Reviewer's Guide. So all these statisticians provide support. And whenever there is a regulatory request, the statistician will lead this ad hoc request and have a rapid response. First you receive a list of the questions from regulatory. You need to quickly go through the questions and get the responses as quickly as possible you can get. Usually regulatory response is really in a very tight timeline. And then you also analyze which one you will need a statistical program support to get the table of listings. So usually first the stats need to lead this activity or the task to complete the rapid response for regulatory. Okay, that's pretty much about the stats side. So next, Vaibhav will cover the statistical programming part. And then I will come back for a few more stats-related slides. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaifeng. Hi, my name is Vaibhav Sathe. I have been with Parexel now for close to 14 years. I've been a programmer for first 5 of them, and then in the management for last 7. And working on this account, I have been on this account for close to 4 years. So coming to the stats programming portion, like we have a very experienced team. As you can see from the slide information, like we have almost 50% of our team members who have been with the company for more than 5 years. Quite significant number of people having the stats degree as well. And most of majority of our team are series trained as well. Like we support end-to-end work for the study as well, including the CSR writing and the publication requests. We, like our programmers, are tasked with the development of specifications, doing the programming of those, validation, the TLF programming, and its QC as well. We also provide the support for the any DMCs, any interim analysis, and we also do work even on the SDTM side of the things as well, where our programmers get an opportunity to try out different ideas, and work on a lot of different standardization initiatives that we work and develop internally. We also support for the sponsor the integration work, the ISS and ISE, and its related submission activities. So our programmers, as part of the team, get a very diverse exposure. Additionally, we also support the rapid response and the regulatory queries as well. So you as a programming team really get to see how at the end the process works in terms of getting the final approval, which is not always the most common situation, where you work on a study and you move on, and then you are not really part of the team until it's really getting the final approval. So that's definitely something very interesting, which programmers like. Next slide, Tony. Here we just wanted to give you a very brief idea about how the team structure works. That we have a senior vice president who oversees multiple FSP accounts. We also have a separate team of support from the project leadership group, and they provide the overall structure with regards to the setup of the contracts and the client interactions. And then you have myself and Kaifeng as the 2 main pillars on the account who support both the programming and the stats aspect of work. Next slide, Tony. Here I wanted to describe just the success and the way this partnership has evolved with the sponsor. As mentioned, like this partnership really started as a full service partnership back in 2010. And then since then, we have been working on also the FSP side of the business for last 8+ years. We formally finalized a FSP specific based partnership back in 2016. We worked through some things and developed different processes and advanced our support by developing a lot of different macros and standard procedures. And we implemented a process-based KPIs as well back in all these years from 2017, 2018, 2019. And we had a very organic growth in the team, as Kaifeng mentioned. Like our team now is spread across the globe. Like we have the team members right from China to India to Russia to UK and US. So we have a very broad team which we have grown organically and kept on supporting the client as per the requirement. And back in last year, as mentioned, like we had a 3-year renewal for the partnership, which is not very common in any of the CRO space, where clients usually end up extending a year after a year. But because of our strong commitment to this partnership and the quality of work and delivery and multiple submission things that we have successfully completed, we were extended for 3 years. And just last year, when we had a partnership survey, we had got a 10 out of 10 on the partnership scale as well. So it's a very stable partnership and stable accounts that we support with a long-term prospects and a lot of growth potential as well. Next slide, Tony. Here we just want to describe very briefly the hybrid structure. Like we have a stable base of programming resources. We support, as mentioned, the FSP and the full service side of things as well. And depending upon the pool of resources that are available in our account and deployment of those based on the needs on the FSP or FSO side, the things are pretty stable, like overall from the numbers perspective and how we work with the particular sponsor. Next slide, Tony. So I wanted, so Kaifeng on this one, if you can take this slide.
So this one is mainly talking about the role of biostatistics in drug development. Actually, I think I covered a little bit before already, so we'll just go through one more time. So biostatisticians become drug developers. So our main activity or tasks, including the statistical methodology, during the synopsis, I think the synopsis development for the protocol, this is like at the very beginning of the drug development for each study. You need to know what study design our investigator is like interested, or what kind of objective we need to meet. So during that time, I think it's a really great opportunity. You have the chance to discuss with the medical experts and other drug developer, the key players together. And you will think about the sample size, like how many, of course, depend on the study phases, like how many subjects are required for the study, how this study, what is the probability this study can conduct well, and the success probability, all these sorts. You can do some exploration or simulation during the protocol development. So I would say a statistician need to be really courageous and also with integrity, and we need to apply all the knowledge we learned from school related to the methodology, including randomization, blinding. For blinding, we need to avoid the bias. Also, a statistician need to really be good in communication, because most of the time you will lead the study, communicate with multiple parts within the study team. So we often collaborate with the client stats and the programming team, as well as data management, clinical team, and our internal statisticians, programmers as well. For the complex study, we have multiple statisticians. So if you are the leader, you have to lead the whole team and work together to get all the timelines met also in a very high quality for all the data we analyze. So the leadership, strategic, and visionary thinking is really a key to have a successful team and make the projects successfully. So it's really important. And this is also related to the operational excellence. So all these, I think, requires multiple talents. And we also need to know the regulatory environment. For example, all the ICH guidelines, especially the E9, E6, we really need to be familiar with because these are important and stats related. And each language, like each country, sometimes they have their different specific requirements. So we also need to be clear. For example, PMDA, they have a specific requirement. So you need to be very familiar with all those requirements when you are working a study, if it's used for PMDA submission. If a study is using for Health Canada, then you also need to know what are the requirements for Health Canada. So all these are important. Financially also, when we design the study, we need to make sure the study has sufficient power. Also, we don't overpower. If you overpower, it's a lot of money, waste. So I think stats also contribute for the study financially as well. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, so here is the mainstream career path for statistician. There are two career paths. One is in the end, you would like to become a manager. The other is you just would like to be a technical lead. So there are two paths available at Parexel, so you can choose. It depends on the preference. Some people like to manage people, some may not. They like to manage only the project. So there is choices you can make. Also, for the programmers I mentioned before, for the programmers who have a stat degree and also interested in becoming a statistician, then you are welcome to apply the stats job. So our account, we would like to have at least a biostatistician 2, and then they can move up to senior biostatistician and principal biostatistician, and then afterward they can spread. For the people who want to become a manager, then go to the management career path, and for others, they want to become an expert on the technical lead, and then they can become a senior principal biostatistician. Sometimes it's also called subject matter statistician. So it's almost like an expert on those stats methodology part. So for the management, we have AM, associate manager, senior manager, and then AD, director, and senior director, etc. So that's about the stats career development path. Okay. Next slide, Tony. Tony, next slide.
Thanks, Kaifeng.
Okay.
So similar to how Kaifeng described the career path for the statistician, we have a career path also for the programmers, for them to continue to move up. So from the junior programmer as a programmer 2, you can progress to senior programmer or principal programmer. at the principal programmer level, you are having an option to go into the technical side and become a senior principal programmer and then expert programmer as well. So we have multiple levels so that your progress and your career growth doesn't stop, and you can continue to excel and be the elite programmers within the group, which will be a very handful of team members that would have that opportunity. Or you could certainly, if you're interested into the management aspect, then you can move into the management role. Parexel really encourages people to choose their career paths and very focused and dedicated towards each person's well-being and their professional development goals. Even similar from my case, as you might have heard, like in 14 years, I have moved up from being a programmer to all the way right now to associate director. That's with a lot of encouragement and internal support that Parexel provides. And we are able to transition into the associate manager, a manager, senior manager, and even into the multiple director levels. So there will always be a place where you are able to see your professional growth and not getting bogged down and have that development. Next slide, Tony. So at the end, we wanted to summarize just the positions that we are looking for both biostats and programming. So for the biostatistician, we do look forward to having people who are interested in applying for a senior biostatistician or a biostatistician 2, or even for the associate manager within the biostatistics group. Different levels of experience can apply for the different positions as described, like right from the biostatistician 2 to a senior biostatistician and the associate manager. We look for specifically the PhD or the MS in biostatistics. And if you have any kind of prior like a SAS or R programming experience, that's definitely desirable, but that's not a requirement. Similarly, for the programmer roles as well, we are looking for programmers with like 1 year or more of an experience where you can apply for the different levels. We do encourage to see people who can do the programming, like they can do the table listings. They can certainly have additional experience with regards to the data sets side as well. Certainly preferred can be if you also have gotten a chance to work on the specification, but it's not again a requirement. Both the stats and the programming positions we are interested and looking for China-wide all over. So please, you can certainly take a look and see if you have any interest on any of these. Next slide, Tony, and back to you.
Thanks, Weibai and Taifeng sharing. And next, I will introduce Parexel benefits and recruitment process. At Parexel, we care about our employees, and we have a lot of flexible benefits like annual leave, full pay sick leave, health check, meal allowance, and housing allowance. This can protect our employee and their family in the event of illness, and we provide group insurance for your well-being. Our competitive plans support the healthcare needs of our employees, and these options ensure that we can continue to recruit and retain our best talent. As mentioned just now, Parexel can provide you with several career options that can hardly be found within just one company. Parexel APAC hired over 800 employees in 2020. Last year, over 30% of APAC open positions were filled by our internal company employees. So you will have much more working opportunities internally. Parexel will open so many positions to employees. You may apply for these positions, and you will have chance to do the internal transfer. These photos are from Parexel China offices, and all these offices are located in CBD in every city. We also have some office events like yoga and birthday party. We hope employee can make working and life balance, and we hope they can have a good and comfortable working environment. At last, I think that is very important part after this webinar. If you want to apply for Parexel technical programmer position or Biostatistics position, how can you submit your resume? You can visit Parexel website, jobsparexel.com, and search statistical programmer for O-levels position with job ID 62613BR, or search Biostatistician for O-levels with job ID 61194BR to submit your resumes. And about this webinar, if you have any questions, welcome to send us the emails. We can reply to you as soon as possible. And after this webinar, we will send you the email of the recording of our event and our post-webinar communications. You can find the position application links as well in this mails. Okay, at last, thanks everyone's listening. That's all parts of our webinar. I hope this webinar can help you for your career path. Thanks again, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.